When a man's going through it, when he's in the battle of finding his life's purpose, as well as healing from the traumas that he's been through, he needs to understand that talking to that woman, having a relationship with her, having sexual intimacy with her, texting, all this stuff that you're doing with her or the variety of different women in your life is just one big distraction. As a matter of fact, it's escapism. What's up, world? It's your boy Nakata, the author of Heart on Break, the #1 book about this entire process of taking a break from relationships to work on yourself, to work on your healing, as well as defining your life's purpose before you jump back into those relationships. That's important to do. Leave a review if you've read it, or you can go ahead and pick up a copy on Amazon. Now, I talk about this all the time, and I've spoken about it, for years. It's in the book, and my book came out 5 years ago. It's something that men really need to be reminded of consistently, because I have people contact me all the time telling me various different stories of their life, and I've heard it all from the perspective of, oh, I'm going to talk to her, she seems like she's the one, I'm going through this, but she'll help me. Yeah, I mean, I've heard it all, and it sounds nice because women try to be empathetic for a man and what he's going through when they can understand that you're going through something. But the truth is, not all of them are in a good enough position emotionally to even support you through that process. And then many times, you're doing it because you're so accustomed to being with women. You're so accustomed to being in these relationships. So it's almost like second nature. So now you know that you got to work on your purpose. You know you got to do these different things, but it's so lonely sometimes, as it should be and as it will always be. But the loneliness or the solitude is something that you absolutely must go through, because those demons that speak to you when you're by yourself and those ideas that come to you, they're all yours. And if you stay by yourself long enough will come for you to learn how to ignore some and learn which ones to listen to. And there's a lot of insight and intuition that's involved in that process if you can effectively understand in this time of solitude. You're not reaching out to women. You're not looking for any kind of attachments. You're not looking for anybody's expectations. You're not looking to meet anyone's expectations. You're not looking for validation from anyone. You're just looking for tools to help you in this process. And that's why I do my coaching, because a lot of men are in this process, and I believe human design and the cosmology work that I do is an effective form of helping you know yourself based on your birth data. And some people might think it's spooky or whatever the case is, but it's better than just arbitrarily giving you advice based on my life. My life is different. The other YouTube dating coaching guys, game is one thing and it's applicable to all things, but game is not really what's gonna get you the woman who's gonna be most supportive of you. Finding yourself, understanding your life's purpose, being true and honest to yourself, and going through whatever process you got to go through on your own sometimes, and with the help of supporting men who can actually support you, men who've been there, done that. If you're not going through it in solitude or with the support of other men, what the cop-out escapist way is to be looking for love and affection from women and then end up talking to women consistently, telling her everything and this, that, and that, and da-da-da-da. They can't help you, bro. In many cases, they can't help you. There's some rare circumstances, but that's the exception. The standard is talking to them is just a form of escape from you having to do the work that you need to do. And you got to be real about it, because if you have real men in your life who can actually hold you accountable, they're going to be like, well, I thought you said you was going to do that. Why you ain't do that? Like, that's really what it's like to be held accountable, especially by other men who understand what you're going through. And a lot of dudes are trying to skip this process. That's why my book ain't never gonna get old, because you can't skip this process if you've never been through it. In this society where most men haven't been nurtured by a father or men to become a man, or haven't been given the rites of passage, you can skip that and get caught up in relationships, sports, or whatever validation form that they taught you. You can skip it, but not for long, not forever. There's going to come a time where you need a break from these relationships, from the expectations of others, to find yourself, to do the work that you need to do. So the sooner the better. You get what I'm saying? So if you ain't get it in your teenage years and you're 20-something now, or 30-something now, or even 40-something, you got to put yourself through this process. And I'm telling you, 98% of the times, it's not going to involve women. It's not going to involve women. And of course, it's going to be harder to distance yourself and take a break from women relationships if you're going through this process after you've created many attachments to women in relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's why in these various cultures that still practice rites of passages, the boys are separated from their mothers and their sisters and their aunties during this process. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to do that for yourself as well too, because I'm telling you, it makes a difference. It really does. And of course, the group of men that you choose to surround yourself with makes a difference as well. And I know that it's hard to find good men in some cities and some areas, but they're out there. What's important is for you to find the help that you can use whenever you need it, whether that's books, YouTube, whatever the case is. The goal, however, is to have some kind of accountability system that spurs you into action and that helps you in those times, because there's going to be some depressive, melancholic moments through knowing yourself and understanding yourself. It's a lot of past stuff, a lot of people have past referral, like there are a lot of things to work on yourself, by yourself, and there are different tools that you can use in those moments of solitude. It doesn't mean that you're not getting coaching in solitude. It doesn't mean that you're not talking to a therapist in solitude. It doesn't mean that you're not working out, going to the gym, changing your diet. The various other things that focus on you are what you need to be focused on during solitude versus, feel this need to connect with a woman and to let her know and show her how much you're growing. Fuck that shit. Don't do that shit. It never works. It stops your growth most of the time, and you don't get where you need to get. Get where you need to get first, or be right there, damn near the finish line before you start incorporating women. That's what's going to help you. As usual, guys, this is Nakata, the author of Heart and Break. Leave a review, hit me up. I got cosmology coaching that's based on your birth data. No spooky stuff, some real scientific, logical stuff to help you find your purpose and show up in this world the way you're intended to show up in this world. A lot of us are not showing up as our authentic selves because we've been trying to be others. It's time to stop that. Heartandbreak.com under the Work With Me tab. I got discounts that I do every week as well, too. Peace out, you guys.